And after years of deciding which grapes to grow and where to plant them, the French have learned that winemaking begins in the vineyard.
In this French technical book, they had the drawings of the different soil types. And to describe the quality of wine or the quality of the terroir of each of these sites, rather than describing the chemical components, they put a drawing of a face, which I found a cartoon drawing, from a smile to this kind of thing, different. And I thought, wow, what a way to understand soil, by the personality.
To see this concept of terroir in action, you need to spend some time in one of France's traditional outdoor markets. Most French still buy their food fresh every day. And whether it's fruits and vegetables or regional specialties like cheese and pâté, locally made food is considered to have its own unique taste. True, there's enough fast food in France to make Escoffier turn in his grave. But the French remain serious about protecting their regional food and wine traditions. The French are so fixated on this concept of place, they have based their entire wine industry on the idea that a wine's taste is determined by its terroir. In fact, you could say terroir is the law of the land.
In France, we cannot plant our vines wherever we want. We have a regulation and we have a specific terroir, and on this specific terroir we can plant only 1 or 2 grapes, it depends. In Saint-Cyr-Puy it's Sauvignon Blanc or Pinot Noir. In Burgundy it's Pinot Noir or Chardonnay. And it's the same everywhere.
Terroir forms the basis of laws in France known as the Appellation d'Origine Contrôlée, or AOC, that govern everything from how vines are planted to which grapes are grown.
The AOC concept is based on terroir. And the terroir concept, as I said, is that any given soil microclimate has a varietal that produces a unique product of wine. And when that's identified and is of a certain quality, the group that governs the AOC, the INAO board in France, will come in and evaluate it over a period of time to assure that that's a consistent quality and style and unique in itself.
But not all terroir is equal in the eyes of AOC law. French wines are classified according to a pyramid system. The bottom layer consists of simple vin de table wines, or table wines. Next come vin de pays, or country wines. A notch above that are vins de limité de qualité supérieure. Luckily, most people refer to them as VDQS. And finally, Appellation Contrôlée wines, also called AOC or AC wines. Winemaking regions fall under 2 basic categories. Classic wine regions like Burgundy or Bordeaux are considered more prestigious, while wines from other regions like Languedoc in southern France are believed to be more ordinary. Only about 40% of all French wines fall under the AOC system, including all the classic regions. But AOC laws guarantee only style and geographical origin, not quality. And many winemakers in France agree the system needs changing.
The AOC system is an important fundamental element, again, of French winemaking. And the objectives are twofold. One is to guarantee quality, guarantee a purity and origin of the grapes from a particular area. And two, also to protect against fraud. To provide consumer protection. That being said, it's a very complicated system that is talked about and debated and has benefits and has some constraints.
One constraint is AOC laws which prohibit winemakers from experimenting with new grape varieties in their vineyards.
There was one individual who on the Pyrenees foothills a number of years ago said, I think on these Pyrenees foothills that in the night get very cool, very fresh, and has some cooling factors from the Atlantic even that come through a valley. Decided to plant the Riesling grape, just as an experiment, and that was not permitted. It's not permitted under the AOC laws, not permitted under any laws to plant the Riesling outside of the Alsace-Lorraine region, and the governing board made him pull the vines out because it was not permitted.
And I think the argument was made, and I think it has some validity to it, that the rest of the world does not consider it belonging to Alsace-Lorraine in France in particular, and the rest of the world is out making very high-quality Rieslings to be sold. And the question was posed, why would France not allow itself to make the best Riesling possible?
But things are changing, especially in the south of France. Recent changes to AOC laws reflect the kind of improvement innovative thinking can bring. Until recently, wines from the Languedoc-Roussillon region of southern France were known for quantity rather than quality. But the sleeping giant of the wine world is finally waking up.
The interesting thing about the region of Languedoc is that for 100 years they've been making table wine or country wine, vin de pays wine, and only relatively recently did they begin to focus on higher quality wines.
Languedoc-Roussillon makes 1 out of every 10 bottles of wine sold in the world. And after centuries of turning out cheap bulk wine made from inferior local grapes, winemakers here are turning over a new leaf.